don't dye your hair. Now, seriously, welcome to this new concept that I really don't know how I'm gonna name, but I'm saying don't dye your hair because I've been there. Okay, maybe you're thinking, what does she know? My hair is not that long, my hair is not that amazing, but I've been there and that's why I'm saying it. My hair took 3 years to grow out. This took 3 years to grow out, which might not seem crazy, but they're not that long again because they were damaged. Today I want to talk about why you should not dye your hair, and if you had already dyed your hair in the past, how can you heal it? How can you grow your hair out? And I want to talk a little bit about my hair journey because my hair has been through a lot. Firstly, I want to show you how my hair looked before I did anything to it. I had pretty wavy, even like up to curly hair growing up. I don't know why, but this front section, all the time it was straight. Like my hair, I think it's too heavy or something, but this was always straight, and down here it would always curl. So my hair was like curly, wavy. I had pretty blonde hair growing up. I was a natural blonde, and my hair was just a mess because it was frizzy, it was blonde, it was all over the place. You know, you couldn't see the hairline because it was very light. My hair was just kind of like really messy, and because like, I know this is astrology, but because I'm a Leo, I would always say that it's because my hair is like my crown, so it had to be big. I was in love with volume, so I would brush out my curls because it would make it even more voluminous, which is what I wanted. But then of course enters the puberty era. I remember I cut my hair. Well, I didn't cut my hair, I wanted a haircut, and my mom cut my hair on accident, and I cried for 3 hours in the bathroom because it was way too short. I like remember it was like this short, but this is when I started wearing my bob. I've never worn bobs before. My hair was always like either this long or maybe like up to here maximum, but my mom just cut my hair into a bob, and I had that bob for I think 2 to 3 years until I was 16. When COVID came, I decided to grow my hair out. My hair went through many different phases. I wanted pink hair, so I got pink hair, which was absolute tragedy. I'm from a small town, and this was the time when everybody was rocking like those rose gold pink hairstyles, and I wanted it so badly. So I came to a hairdresser that my mom used to go to, and they gave me the worst bleach. Then they gave me the only pink they had in the salon, and I came out like, I'm not going to school tomorrow, mom, because I had school tomorrow. So I literally remember I had a hoodie on my head. Nobody cared, but I was like, I look so bad. No, I can't go to school ever again. But then I was kind of rocking it because once the pink washed off, my natural hair was already starting to darken, and I, was a blonde my whole life, so I had blonde hair underneath again. And then when it was growing out, because I would always grow out my hair, cut it, I went to a hairdresser again, and I got some, I think, like balayage or something, I don't remember exactly, and it was just like streaks of colors because it was 2018, nobody knew how to do balayage properly back then. So again, I had blonde curly bob. Then it was COVID, and I grew out my hair. I started taking care of my hair. I discovered the curly hair method. I think everybody discovered the curly hat method in COVID, and I genuinely believe I can get my curls to be coily, which no. I did the curly hair method a few times, but it just looked like mess on my head. I had friends who had really good and long hair, but it was never me. I decided to do one of the weirdest things ever, and a natural blonde, I decided to go dark brown. I don't understand. Well, I do understand why I did it, because I was like in my rebellious kind of teen spirit. I wanted to look like every girl that I was talking to, and all of my friends had dark hair. So I was like, yes, I want to look like them. So I dyed my hair really dark brown, and any kind of dyeing, it was a semi-permanent color, but any kind of dyeing will kind of damage your hair a little bit, which it was very dry. But my mom, thankfully, this was actually before like the internet blew up, before Kim Kardashian blew up K18 hair treatment, and my hairdresser already at the time was like, get this, it will help you. So I did. I got it. My hair healthy, beautiful, long. Then the color was kind of starting to grow on me, and I loved it. I had it for 2 years. I went to re-dye it, I think twice. Each time it was darker and darker, but nobody cares. And then I decided, let's go back blonde again. If you don't know how hard it is to remove color, so first session we did was basically like a bleach wash, if I remember correctly, which basically means we just removed the dark color of my head. And I came out of this hair salon and I wanted to cry because I was a ginger. I'm gonna put the pictures here probably. I went to Rome with my boyfriend and I was a ginger. To this day, I am so pissed off. It was my only time I've ever been to Rome and I went there as a ginger. Seriously. Yeah, but I can honestly say I've had every hair color other than black on my head, because I was blonde, I was platinum, I was ginger, I was dark brown, I was almost black brown, like I was everything. So honestly, I can kind of say I had every hair color that there is in existence. Well, the second time I went there, I remember I was there, I think I had an appointment at 12, and then, well, they dyed my hair and I came out at like 6 or 7 p.m. I remember them telling me that I had 10 kilograms of bleach on my head. I'm not sure if I'm remembering correctly, but I'm pretty sure because it was very heavy. I wanted to faint. It was, honestly, when I just remember how it smelled, ew. But they did basically what I wanted. I came there with a picture. They were warning me it's gonna ruin my hair, it's gonna damage my hair, but I was like, no,
get it blonde.
So I'm gonna put a picture here of what my hair looked like. It was beautiful. Okay, they put so much K18, they put so many treatments into my hair. I came out feeling like a Barbie. It was just the most beautiful blonde I've ever seen. It didn't last long. Let me just tell you that. My hair started literally falling off. Like, I'm not even kidding. We went on a trip to London. Okay, this is very specific, but we went on a trip to London and I was brushing my hair like this. Okay, maybe not from here, but like down here, you know, brushing my hair. And I had black pants and these little small hair pieces, broken hair, it was landing all over my pants. And I was so used to it. I was like, yeah, that's normal. My mom was like, it's not normal. Because my mom was there and she's like, it's not normal. It looks like you have a hairbrush with a razor. Long story short, my hair, it basically broke off. Like, my hair started breaking off, so the length was going down and it broke off to the point where I think I can still find some. You see how long my hair is here, right? Well, over here there is pieces like this, which used to be this short. My hair basically broke off in like 3 or 4 different sections. I had a V shape, like not a V shape like you would imagine, you know, what like people cut their hair. No, I had the opposite V shape in the back, because your hair here is like the most precious and stuff, and it just broke off. My top, I had literally 4-5 different freaking layers of hair. Imagine going to school and your head just looks like this. This was my first year of university. I remember I was talking to my friend Beck about my hair back then, and she's like,
oh, I thought you had like a crazy emo hairstyle.
No, I didn't have crazy emo hairstyle. I had broken hair. And it pains me because everybody thought this is what I wanted my hair to look like. No. So we are up to date of what it looked like before and why I don't recommend you dyeing your hair, because nowadays it is a very big trend. Also, don't cut your hair, but I'm gonna get to that later. So you did dye your hair. This second part is about how to heal your hair and how I got my hair to basically grow from this to this in like a year and a half. Let me tell you, every single day waking up and knowing my hair looks like that from the back of my hand, the back of my head. I need my hair. My hair is my personality, and like most of my life it's been my personality, and not having good hair, I was so pissed off. I remember I was gaining weight, I had a lot of acne, and I had bad hair. It was just bad time of my life. But back to how to grow your hair. So I've tried a lot of things, okay? Let me firstly start by talking about K18. So K18 hair mask is basically, from what I know, it has proteins in it. So it helps with damaged hair, especially after bleaching. And I have to say, after bleaching my hair and after dyeing my hair brown, K18 had a lot, like did the most to my hair. It saved my hair a lot. It basically made it silky soft, and when I was using it the first time I dyed my hair, perfect. When I was using it the second time, perfect. But then I know this happened to more people than just me. You can have something like protein overload to your hair, which is I think something that I did, because my hair was like, yes, it was breaking, but I think the breakage that happened to my hair was not only caused by the bleaching, but also by the protein overload, because I was using it every hair wash. And now, yes, that's on me. I know they say do not use it every hair wash, but I was using it every hair wash because I was so desperate to heal my hair, and I knew that K18 will do it. So yes, that one is on me, but K18 will actually help you with your hair so much. I can't recommend it enough if you have really damaged, just freshly bleached hair, but know your limits and just try to study up on proteins a little bit, because some hair is not good with, protein overload and putting so much protein products into your hair, especially nowadays where you have so many different brands which have protein full products in their hair care. Yeah, please don't. K18 is really good for SOS, emergency. Right now I use it like once per month, and I think it looks pretty good. They're not breaking off anymore. Let me just knock, because I'm so scared something's gonna happen to my hair now that I'm making this. The second sensation I think you've seen all over TikTok and social media is rosemary. You have rosemary water, you have your rosemary oils, you have, I think some people make rosemary serums. I have tried the water and I have tried the oil, and the thing is, the moment my hair got to the phase where it was all broken and stuff, I started using it. So I cannot really tell how much difference it would make without it, but I think it grew quite a lot. So I do think it does help, but it is very long term. It's not gonna be like you're gonna start using and in a week your hair is gonna be like 5 inches longer. It is very long term, but it can help. For rosemary water, what I used to do is I would buy fresh rosemary. I would put it into, I think, a little bit of the water, just enough so it covers it. I would boil it for 4 to 5 minutes, and then I would just leave it sitting in the pot. I would turn it off and I would close the lid, and I would just leave it sitting in the pot until it turns this very deep dark red color, and I would transfer it into these little spray bottles. Then I would just spray it on my scalp. I started with the rosemary water because it is, I think, kind of a little bit more user-friendly. The rosemary oil, you have to dilute it, but it is what I use right now because I don't have time to boil rosemary water like 2 times per month, because you have to have it fresh and you can't store it for long, blah 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 blah. But rosemary oil, basically you have to dilute it. I'm gonna put the exact ratios here because right now I just use like 1 to 2. I'm not sure if that's correct, but I just use that. But I'm gonna Google the exact ratios that you should use with rosemary oil, because you have to dilute it because it can be a little too strong. But again, hair oiling, scalp oiling, it is not as simple as it seems. Let me tell you my scalp oiling routine, because this is something that works for me and maybe it will also work for you. But my scalp oiling routine is basically that I will firstly start massaging my head with my fingers to just kind of promote the circulation. I will start also massaging my head with a brush and start brushing it, so I can just kind of stimulate the scalp, kind of start distributing my natural oils to my hair. This is all before washing, by the way, so I do that. I will put scalp oil onto my scalp. So I will just have this little dropper that I have from my The Ordinary serums that I used up, and now I just put my oil into there. So I have a little dropper and I will drop it all over my scalp, and then I will use my fingers to massage it in, and then I will use this plastic, or is it a rubber massager, to just massage it even more. And I will oil my ends with a different oil, not rosemary oil, because rosemary oil is not supposed to go into your ends. Put it into a bun, leave it on for 2 hours, not overnight, because overnight it can clog your pores. So, and then I will wash my hair as I normally do. This routine is something that I've been doing for the past half year, and I think my hair seems pretty good. I don't do it every single wash. I do it like every other or every third wash, because it does take quite a lot of time, 2 hours before washing. My friends, sometimes when I tell them what I do, they're like, you're crazy. But I'm like, yeah, I know, but I have to. But this is my hair washing routine before. I used to also use the Ordinary Density Serum for the hair. I think it does work, but it's more about growing new hair, because what happened to me is, instead of this growing longer, I had a lot of new hair growing on top of my scalp. So it was even funnier, because I had small hair here, small hair here, small hair here, and I would just be like, what's the point? I have so many hair, so many layers, but what can you do? I have to say, I know a lot of people will invest a lot of money into very high-end shampoos. I do use the Kerastase shampoo, but I use it because I'm just afraid to use something else, I'm not really decided on this, because I know a lot of people online do say that the drugstore shampoos are as good as high-end shampoos, especially when you have the L'Oreal Corporation having both high-end and drugstore brands. So you're I don't really want to talk about this, because I can only recommend what I've tried. I've tried the Kerastase shampoo. I like it. Is it worth the money? I don't know. It's very different. Every single person has very different hair. What might work for me might not work for you, especially with different hair types. I can't recommend anything for girls who have very curly and very coily hair, because I don't have hair like that, and I know they need completely different care. For example, I can recommend, for girls who have similar hair to mine, the banana hair food from Garnier, or the mask. I don't know, I really like it. A lot of people use it as a hair mask, but what I do, I use it as a leave-in conditioner, and I think my hair looks really good with it. I can really recommend it if you have very dry hair, because that was one of the big problems that I had with my hair the first time. I used this mask, and I think I have my third packaging, and it's a big tub, so I use it quite a lot. Now, one thing which is kind of it's very pricey, but I might recommend it if you have very damaged hair, is a Dyson. Listen, I didn't have a Dyson for the first part of my hair growth journey, if we can call it that. I didn't have a Dyson for a very long time, but my hairdryer broke. My hairdryer broke. I had a very cheap hairdryer we bought somewhere, I'm not sure where, for $20. very cheap. It had, I think, like two options of the temperature. It was cold or hot. So I was like, well. And when I came home, my mom offered to buy Dyson for me as my birthday present because she knew I'm struggling with my hair, and she also knew that my hairdryer broke, and I was like, well, I'm not gonna say no, am I? So I didn't get originally the styler, or I'm not sure what it's called, you know, like the one which has like many different attachments. Now I do have it. But it's 2 years later, okay. But at first I got the Sonic Dry. I'm gonna put the name up here because I'm not sure, but I got just a normal, you know, like hair dryer. I have to say, I really recommend that one. That one, I think it made such a big difference because heat on damaged hair, that's like the worst thing you can do. But I also can't just air dry my hair because my hair, as I said, is very wavy and it would just end up puffy. So I would always use the attachment which has like air dispenser, so it's not directly heat on your hair, and I would use a low heat setting, so it would be like low heat plus it disperses the air, you know, so my hair would be very healthy. It's also just a very good hair dryer. It dries my hair so fast. You know, I only had a very cheap hair dryer and a very expensive hair dryer, so I can't really say, is it worth the money? Maybe it's worth the money if you like really want it for a really long time. The styler, or the one which has all these different attachments, I have tried doing my curls with it so many times, and my curls look a lot better when I do heatless curls like right now than when I use the Dyson. I like it for a different attachment. I like it for the brush and for the straightening drying brush thing. So when I wear my hair straight, I like it. But this is supposed to be about how to heal your hair, not how to do your Dyson curls, so let me just end it there. Now in this last part, I want to talk about the trend that is now on at least my TikTok, and that is that every girl I see is cutting their hair into a bob. It's like, I'm gonna put some like pictures of some beauties that I've seen on TikTok which now have a bob. I don't know what to tell you. These girls, most of these girls who are influencers, they have the money to wake up the next morning and be like, I don't like this, and put in extensions. I know that extensions in America can cost like thousands and thousands of dollars. I'm from Europe, so here it is a little more attainable, but it's still very expensive, and still not many people wear extensions. My mom actually had extensions, and I probably should also say don't get extensions. Because while a lot of people say yes, it is safe for the hair, my mom went to 2 or 3 the best specialists in the town to get her extensions, and to this day she tells me the best decision she ever made was to get them off, because she can still see that the places where she had the extensions are so much thinner and so much more damaged than the rest of her head, even though it was advertised to her as something that she can put on to grow her hair, because she had the same thing happen to her. She also had her hair broken, and she also bleached her hair, and she also had her hair break off, and it was a big catastrophe, and we were crying together. So she was, you know, empathetic to me, and she got extensions, and then she broke her hair even more. And a lot of these influencers that cut their hair, they have the money to get extensions like anytime they want, because they can get the long hair anytime they want. They don't have to, you know, wait 4 to 5 years to grow them out. Again, the same with layers. Layers are very beautiful, but have you seen unstyled layers? I think a lot of hairstyles that now girlies are getting are very high maintenance hairstyles. Layers, bob, like I've had bob. I basically have layers, and I can tell you none of these hairstyles look good unless you have your hair done, or unless you know that you will have time in the morning to do it. Whenever I broke up with my bob, it would go like instead of it wouldn't be nice bob, it would be like I would be like flying off with my hair. the same thing with hair trends, you know, red. A year ago, every single person and their mother was dyeing their hair red. Oh my god. Do you remember I wanted to do it, the quarantine hair trend where you would dye this half hair a different color, and this one, or the money piece, the streaks, this candy hairline, all of these very nice trends. You know, you have to think about your hair in long term. Maybe you think, okay, it's just hair. That's what I thought too, but I am emotionally attached to my hair. I can't just imagine shaving my hair off right now. And there are so many of these TikTok and like other social media trends with the hair where, like, even for example, like, I love Alex Earl. I love her. I want to be like her. I want to look like her, but she also has very long hair because of extensions. All of these like influencers, they have the money to have the upkeep. They have the money to go to the hair salon every single month and get their roots touched up. You do want to see what I looked like when my roots were not touched up? When I was growing this hair out and it was like a catastrophe. To this day, I still have, like, I think somewhere here, maybe, there's like some pieces of the bleach left over and it looks so funny. But thankfully 90% of my hair is like my own color, because otherwise it just looks so bad. You don't have to attain every single trend. You don't have to dye your hair every single color that's trendy. You know, I know you want to. I was there too. And to this day, I'm like, when I see girlies with their beautiful bleached hair, I'm like, oh, I wish. And then I remember to all the struggles of my hair and how it looked and how I cried and now how I had to take care of it and everything. So with that saying, I'm gonna end it here and I'm gonna repeat the same thing I said at the start. Don't dye your hair unless you're totally sure about it. Thank you for watching and consider subscribing and liking the video. If you have any thoughts you want to share with me, leave them down in the comments. I'm very excited to read about them. Hair is something I'm very passionate about, but I'm passionate about like epsilon million trillion things. So this is not the last time you're gonna see me talking like this here. Again, thank you for watching and bye bye.